So this is my response to part 3 of the personal development plan tracking in module 3. The assignment says, during the final 2 weeks of your internship, take the IES again. Email the course TA requesting a link to the IES online survey. When you have received your results, reflect on your efforts to enhance the dimension you chose. What worked well? What did you find particularly challenging? And so due to the crunch of time, I'm doing this this assignment in retrospect. I haven't been able to do the online survey, but concerning what worked well in the area that I chose, which was exploring, what worked well for me to improve in that area was talking with my supervisor and asking him to give me opportunities to explore, to look into new realms of business that I haven't yet looked into, and it worked really, really well. He gave me assignments in finance, he gave me assignments in marketing, he gave me assignments in sales, which some of these areas I had never really looked into before, and so this has opened my mind to many new possibilities that I could do in the future, which I'm really, really thankful for. I honestly hadn't expected those before I went into the internship, so I'm really glad. And looking back, I wouldn't have done it any differently. I'm very, very satisfied and happy with the experiences they gave me. It says, what did you find particularly challenging? What I found challenging about exploring was that all of this was in a foreign setting. Being in a foreign country with a foreign work culture. I mean, considering I'd lived there for 2 years, this was still very foreign to me because I'd never been in a corporate German culture. It's very, very different than American corporate culture, which I had somewhat of an experience in. So I found it kind of challenging with the communication, not with the language. Language is fine, but just the way they go about doing things. Germans are very exact, very demanding. They're very frank with each other, very direct. And so sometimes it was kind of challenging to understand, even though it was direct, it was hard to understand exactly what they were looking for. I don't know if that makes sense. They were almost so direct that it seemed like they weren't expressing what was actually on their mind because they would say it so quickly and so frankly. But then in some other cases, it was very clear and concise. I'm probably not making any sense right now, but it just, in German culture, it's just very, I don't know, it's just very direct, and that could be complicated, but it could also be very nice. And then the next question says, what did you learn about the process and about yourself? Well, what I learned about the process was that I really love learning. I love exploring new possibilities. And I learned that I am open to new ideas, I'm open to new methods. People have other suggestions. I'm typically not critical right away. I'm typically pretty open and considering why they would think that way. For example, I did a project with another girl from the Netherlands and at this company where we had to go do it was called a one-off analysis and figure out why some of our customers were only purchasing from us at one time. And so we had to sit down, exchange ideas, and she had some amazing ideas and she was just spouting them off, and I sat there and had to listen, and it was really cool to hear what she had to say and to really consider, okay, why is she thinking like that? Why does she confront this problem from this perspective? And is this actually going to be effective? And we were able to share both of our opinions and ideas and come up with a plan of how to implement our strategy of conducting an analysis. And it ended up being very effective. And it was just a mutual understanding that we had that we wanted to find the best ideas. Regardless of who came up with it, it didn't matter. We weren't out to get the credit. We just wanted to get the best possible data for the company so they could go on in their decision making and figure out how to improve their process with their customers. And so I loved that. I loved learning. I loved being able to work with people. It was a great opportunity. Thanks.